to Dating and Relationship Advice. In this episode, we talk about not hurting the people who didn't do anything to you, but you do tend to hurt people that are closest to you. Don't involve the kids when involving adult situations. We also talk about don't project your past issues on present relationships. And then other things we talk about are do you believe that you're only a victim once? And then also, how do you get over someone you have kids with? Sometimes you can't hold back your anger or the instance when something happens, when the kids are around. Sometimes you have to show tact on when to handle certain situations. So that's kind of a tough situation when the kids are around.
Don't hurt those. They didn't do shit to you.
Well, maybe if I explain what I went through, maybe you can suggest something. Because since you're in it, you don't know really how to solve it.
No, I don't.
So me and Beth and her kids, we all lived together in the same house. So I think her daughter was 8 at the time. Her son was 12. And then my son fit right in the middle, so he was like 10. And she just left. No explanation. Well, there was kind of an explanation, but it was stupid.
I shouldn't really say it's stupid, but it's a lack of gathering facts on her part.
You know, she thought I lied about my job. She thought I told her son that I fix airplanes, and Beth thought that I don't. But I really do. You know, I send parts to them and do all kinds of, at least the computer end of it. I mean, I don't do the engines or the body or just the computer side of it.
Right.
So she was pretty pissy about that. And she doesn't do my job, so how can you judge somebody?
Right.
By just looking through a website? And then there was another thing that she didn't like either. Like my older son, I haven't seen for 2 years. I asked her, you know, can I go see him?
Yeah, you told me about this.
So she said it was okay, but later on it wasn't okay because I left her alone.
Right.
I'm like, well, you should have said something. You should have said no.
Give us the opportunity to have a conversation like adults instead of saying nothing.
Or I asked if she can come along or something. Open up your mouth.
Right.
If you don't like something, let's work together instead of walk away and not say anything and give it to me later.
The biggest issue is to pretend that there aren't any issues and just walk away.
But then when Easter rolls around, she decided not to see me anymore. Her mother gave my son an Easter basket. So what she did is, while me and Logan were sitting on the couch, we hear a car drive in the driveway. She's at the end. She drops off the Easter basket at the end of the driveway and drives off. And my son's like, why isn't she coming in? Are we going to play? I mean, my son and her son, you know, like the same things. They liked car video games and, you know,
Right.
I mean, we all related very well.
Right.
Is it really fair to tell me what I do for work when you're not there physically doing it with me? Is it really fair to tell me one moment that I can see my son and then later on accuse me of not reading your mind while threatening to break up and not have an adult conversation about it? In this situation, I put forth the effort, I told the truth, and this is how I'm punished? Since I told her son one of the aspects of my job is fixing planes, even when I showed her pictures, running is the resolution of the problem.
I mean, why would she do that to my son?
I'm gonna be honest with you about her. I have no respect for her because of what she does with her own kids, much less anybody else's. Because you don't just go man jumping and, you know, I make jokes about I'm talking to this guy or talking to that guy or whatever, but let me tell you something. If I had kids in my house, if I still had to be that main mom and, you know what I mean? Like, you don't fucking involve your children in that. You don't move into somebody's house, get a house with somebody, and then decide on a whim you're going to have a temper tantrum and just leave them while you're out having affairs and involve your fucking men into children's lives. You don't do that. That's like the biggest fucking, you want to talk about red flags to me? That's like massive red flags to me. Like, you don't fucking do that. Your kids are your number one priority. Are you allowed to be happy? Absolutely. But that's in your own fucking privacy. And it's a huge thing to involve your children into another man's life, and you better fucking be sure of yourself. And you sure as fuck shouldn't be moving in with somebody and involving their children and your children and this whole fucking relationship and then screwing around on somebody and then just, oh, by the way, we're going to move out, leave all my kids' shit at this other guy's house, and then start dating some other dude, and what the fuck?
Yeah, but how do you... It's like the same question that you have. How do you fix that with your own child?
So, those of you who don't know, in previous episodes, this woman, her name's Beth, she cheated on me with a married guy who lived with his wife and kids, and she did it for off and on for 4 years. She didn't call it cheating because she ended our relationship and went out with him. But if you're texting back and forth under the impression that you want to get back with some other guy, that's emotionally cheating. She just got married to a guy that she's dated for a couple years. She's sending me texts that she missed me. I don't play that kind of game.
Well, the fact that she's still out there doing it, because she ain't going to stay married to this guy, I can see that coming 1,000 miles away. But that's on her as a mother. Like, I don't know, but...
No, I think she's going to force herself to last with this guy.
I don't know.
But she said she grew a lot, and, you know, when she communicates with me behind the scenes, she's still the same. You know, she still reacts the same way. She still nitpicks about stupid things. She doesn't even know how to be a friend.
Right. No, I don't believe a word she says. I don't trust her as far as I could throw her. There's something just off about her. For me, as a woman and a mother, and I know I have some huge, massive, strong beliefs when it comes to being a mom. I get that, and I am true blue to the core about how I feel about children and what a mother should be and shouldn't be and everything else. But as a mom, to not have that motherly instinct, to me, there is something wrong with that person, and I don't trust them, and they're not wired right. She's not wired right.
Well, she has a lot of traumas that she's going through.
I don't care. I don't give a shit. Brian, I mean, I guess we've been talking enough. You could probably read between the lines. My mom's husband was abusive in every way, shape, and form, and I was the only girl, so figure that out. I lived through that my whole life. He almost killed my brother twice. Me and my other brother actually stopped him from killing my little brother. He threw me down a set of stairs, broke my leg, left me there for 8 hours. He beat the fuck out of us from the moment we stepped in the door. He could open the door for you to step in off that bus and punch you straight in the face, hence my nose being broken how many fucking times. He was an asshole. And in being an asshole, I turned to a lot of stupid shit. And I put myself in some really dumb situations with quite a few men. And that was very, very fucking traumatizing. And there's reasons I react the way I do and why I'm so, like, fucking devastated and why I'm so scared to date and I'm so scared to open up to somebody else. I had to deal with all that and go through all of that bullshit. You know what? I can give you fucking stories that would make you want to throw the fuck up and bring a grown man to his fucking knees. And it sucks. And it doesn't make me any better than anybody else because there's 1,000 people that have had it 1,000 times worse than me. Point being is, your trauma is your trauma, and you've got to figure it out, work through it. And yes, it stays with you, and yes, it triggers you, and yes, I do still have issues sometimes, but you don't fucking project that onto your children in the way you raise your children. You just don't. And I don't, as a mom and as a woman who's gone through shit, lived my whole life to protect my daughter from that shit. Lived my whole life to make sure no man ever put their hands on my daughter. Lived my whole life to make sure that my husband or nobody ever fucking put their hands on my kids. No fucking way. So as a mom who's been through fucking hell and back, and I mean, maybe that it makes me a weak person. I don't fucking know. Whatever it is, I swore that my children, all it took was one fucking look. And I didn't even have to know my kids. I knew the minute I got pregnant and my daughter's father tried to beat my ass and my dog got between us, that my daughter was not going to live that. I didn't care how much he told me he wasn't going to put his hands on my daughter. You were putting your hands on me, who was holding your daughter. And essentially, You know what I mean? So, like, the whole fucking, I get the whole trauma and it stays with you, and yes, it make some wrong choices sometimes. You look at yourself a certain way, act a certain way, but when it comes to your fucking kids, that should drive your ass to make sure that your children don't ever. So, yes, as a mom, I look at it as something's fucking not wired right.
Yeah, well, I understand that. Yeah, she makes up things as she goes. But, you know, I've experienced a lot of things. That's why I don't hang out with a lot of men, because I've seen my mother get destroyed by her boyfriends and her choices, and my sister is the same way.
Right.
And, you know, I've seen a lot of abuse myself.
Right.
Just by men doing it. I haven't seen any women be abusive besides, you know, Beth. And
Right.
that kind of floors me. It's like, why are you doing this?
Right.
Why aren't you talking to me? Why aren't we working these out? But if she has a
Right.
problem with me, she'll speak up and she'll pitch a fit. But if I have a problem and I want to work through it and something that she's doing, she just walks away.
Right.
And that reminds me of Tom.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. To me, Beth is just wired all fucking wrong as a mom, like as a woman and as a mother.
Yeah,
It's not.
that's what I don't get. If she's hiding a lot of things, how would you be safe marrying somebody like that?
Yeah, I don't.
You know what I mean? I mean, would you get married to somebody that's hiding stuff like that?
No, I don't. Something about her just rubs me all wrong. I don't know. I mean, I felt a certain something when I was over there and I couldn't figure out what it was. Like, because she was really weird about me and I couldn't figure it out. But,
Yeah, because her jealousy, you know, went into overdrive.
which makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
Well, it does when she went through a lot of phases where she kept on dating people that were married herself.
Right, right.
Or her father, you know, he's married to her stepmother, and then he's going out and dating.
Gotcha.
So that's what Beth did.
Right.
I don't know. See, her choices are still the same. She goes behind her husband's back and tries to talk to me, even though I block her, whether it's on her phone or on Facebook or whatever it's going to be. She finds a way to contact me.
Right.
And then she sends me some type of message that says, you can only be a victim once. And I'm like, no, that's not true.
No, that's not fucking true. Sorry.
If you insert your life in somebody else that's trying to get past something, you're a victim every time you contact them. Or every time you get contacted by, you know, the abuser.
You're only a victim once. Wow. As a woman, again, like I said, as a woman, Brian, that's fucking disgusting to hear out of a woman's mouth. No joke. I don't understand her concept or her way of thinking. Because let another woman say that to me. Go ahead. Let another woman say that to me and see what happens. You want to watch somebody get super fucking violent? I'll get super fucking violent. Because let a woman tell me that.
Well, according to her, all men are cheaters and liars.
Well,
From what I understand, she's got the mentality of get them before they get me, even if I have to make up something.
So that's why she acts like that.
I don't know.
I'd be interested in what her husband knows. And I'm sure she's lied her way to everything is somebody else's fault but hers.
Right.
That's her pattern.
Yeah, there's just not something right about her, and I can't fucking peg it, but it's not right. I hate saying that about being a woman and saying that about another woman, but it just doesn't add up.
Well, she took a test, and it's a self-diagnostic test where she tested that she had a personality disorder.
Uh-huh. Well, whatever. I don't care what it is. For a woman to say you can't be a victim more than once. Okie dokie. So, basically, you just told me and half of the fucking population that anything that was brought on in a violent attack on a woman was fucking deserved because it happened more than once. Because I'll tell you what, it's happened more than once. So now you're basically telling me it was my fault. You can go fuck yourself with your statement, and I'll probably punch you in your fucking face for even saying it. Because you don't, that's not even a normal human, much less coming out of a woman's mouth's reaction. I mean, do I make stupid choices? Probably. Do I not see shit in front of my face? Probably. I mean, I'll admit to some of that shit, but that doesn't mean that any of those motherfuckers had a right to do what the fuck they did. You're basically giving men the right to do whatever the fuck they want? Fuck off.
No, I think she's trying to make me believe that I'm the liar and it's my fault and I'm not trustworthy, even though I didn't lie about anything. And I can prove it, but she can't prove that she didn't lie when she's got the same text that I do. It's almost like in the same statement, she goes, I don't keep all your texts, I delete them. And I go, oh, well, what are you trying to hide from your husband? That you're talking to me? And then in the same note, she goes, well, I was talking about contracts, because I work with contractors a lot of times, because I design networks, and they have to pour the cement, and they have to run the lines and conduit, all that boring stuff. So she can relate to that, and she goes, oh, this is just one more thing that we have in common. So why do you have to bring that up?
Because I talked about contractors, now she thinks I'm lying to her, just to add one more thing that we have in common with. So now she's pissed that we have things in common. I'm like, that's part of a great relationship, that you have a lot of things in common and that you can relate. Why are you telling me I'm making things up when I'm not?
And then she brings up some kind of folder. I think she has a folder on her phone where she saves text messages. And I'm like, just a minute ago, you said you don't save any of my text messages anymore. So she hides it in a folder on purpose so she doesn't get caught with her husband doing the same thing that she did to me.
Oh my God.
So how fucked up is that? So she didn't change. She just found a better way to hide things.
Right.
So that's why I'm debating whether to do a video showing all these text messages and how much of a liar Beth is, and I'm not the person that lied.
Right.
I'm not the person that's chasing after Beth.
Right.
With all these fake profiles and fake phone numbers.
Right.
So if I take a videotape and I send it to her husband, her mother, her job, and herself, telling her to stop contacting me after 6 years, 6 long years of bothering me.
Right.
Maybe at that point, she'll stop and take accountability for her actions.
Because the police aren't going to do anything unless there's some kind of physical damage or somebody's dead.
Exactly. Right. Yep. Unfortunately, that's how that works.
So it's like, I don't know what to do. Even after she changed her name and she got married, I doubt if anything's going to be the same. Or, I mean, going to be different. That's what I meant.
Right.
Because everything seems to be the same with her.
Right.
And that's why I can relate the same situation with what Tom's doing.
It just doesn't fucking, like, I don't know. I don't know what to do with so many of this shit. It's like, I don't know. And I keep trying to tell myself, just let it go. Just fucking think positive. Just do this. Just do that. And every time I turn around, it's like something else gonna slap you in the face. And I just want it to all fucking stop. and just fucking go away, but it just doesn't. And it's like so many things piled up into one. And I just, it's like this never-ending fucking cycle. You know, people are like, well, you need to get over them. Okay, great. Yep, I need to get over them. Listen, I'm over that part. But, you know, this motherfucker has control of everything in my life. And now to add to it, the one fucking thing that could break me is my fucking kids and my grandkids.
Well, see, that's kind of a question I have for you. So, how do you get over it when you have kids together? And, I mean, he should be involved in your kid's life or your grandkid's life. So, if he keeps on appearing in your life, how do you really get over it?
And that's kind of the thing. It's like, that's what I keep telling people, like, okay, get over it. Cool, I'm in this house. Okay, I'm in the house. Well, that's great. And I've kind of resorted to, this is my space. This is my peace. This is my whatever the fuck it is, right? My house is my house. No, I'm not going to lie to you. My daughter is buried on this property. I don't want to fucking leave. He knows that's going to rip my motherfucking heart out. And there's not many people that know that. And the one thing I did when I left is I made sure that baby's garden was taken care of, that, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I did, and that's how he reeled me back in. He's like, I don't believe in this shit. He's like, I stood here, I would stand here every once in a while for hours and just stare, and he's like, and he doesn't believe in God and all that other bullshit. And I have it in text message, even to my cousin, that he's like, I used to stand here and just talk to them and wish that they would bring you back to me. And he broke my heart when he said that. That's one of the reasons I moved back in here. And I'm like, and now you're like, well, fuck you, you're going to lose the house anyway. So over like fucking a couple $1,000, I get to fucking lose everything because of your ass. And you're just smiling away. It's like you fucking won. Like, who the fuck are you? That's not even a normal person to me. Now, I'm not saying he owes me the fucking world, but you owe me some fucking human decency.
Yeah, it's like...
Because that's all I ever fucking gave you. Am I perfect? No. Not in any way, shape, or form. And I'll admit that I'm not. But I gave you my whole fucking life. I bowed down to everything you wanted. I never asked for a fucking thing. And in the end, this is how you shit at me. Because that's the type of person you are, and that's what I thought of myself, to think that that's what I needed in my life. Like, I literally look at myself sometimes and think maybe I'm the fucked up one.
No,
I created this, and I made this possible for my kids, and that I put them into this situation, and...
No, because he has a part of it. He doesn't have any sentimental attachments to anything. And neither does she. That's why she left all of her kids' presents here. And all of her mother's and father's presents here.
And all he worries about is when can he stop paying me so he can go play with her and have fun with her.
Right.
And do this thing with her. And here's me just trying to fucking hold on to his kids' and grandkids' house so they have somewhere that they can come see their mom that's not revolving around her living in somebody else's house. Somewhere where the kids can sleep over. And I mean, and I get that all is like, home is wherever I'm at, blah, blah, blah. I get all that. But at the end of the day, none of that is fair. You know, like...
Well, life isn't fair, but it's what you make it. And people are selfish.
It's going to devastate me to walk away from this fucking place. Because I'm going to be left with starting over with absolutely nothing but his fucking alimony. Because at the end of the day, if I was able to keep this house, I could at least sell it and have something to start over with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's me splitting it with him or whether it's me getting all of it at the end of the day. But now it's like, there'll be nothing. So I just did everything I did. I went through everything I went through. So at the end of the day, you still have your happy fucking life and you still got to say a big fuck you to me. Because he ain't going to care. He's going to be like, okay, so I got to pay her alimony. You know what I mean? That's his attitude. But he'll still be making good enough money that he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, and he still chooses to not see his own kids.
Mhm. Yep.
So why am I the asshole when I want to see my own kids?
That I don't understand either. Because I used to beg Ashley's father to be in her life, even though Tom was. I used to beg Ashley's father, and that's why I said, as a mom, I don't get it, Brian. I believe that if mothers walk away, they should be made to pay child support. I believe that, listen, if you're not happy and you separate, you divorce, whatever, when it comes to your children, you put that shit aside because you got to see what benefits your child. And what benefits your child is a healthy relationship with the other parent as long as it's healthy. So they're not normal because I could never, and Ashley's father was a son of a bitch, let me tell you. And I'll tell you, when she was a baby, I would have not left him alone with her. But he had full access to her anytime he wanted. He just chose not to because all he wanted was to be with me. And that's all it was for years. So Tom adopted her when she was 3, even though I didn't want to. And then when she was young, like 12, 13, she asked me, because I raised her knowing that she had an actual father out there. Like, yeah, okay, this is daddy, but you have an actual dad. Like, I chose to do that. A lot of people hated me for it, but that was my choice. And she wanted to meet him. And I let him in her life. He lived in fucking PA. We drove down there. He drove up here. He came to her homecoming. He wasn't involved in her life the way I wanted him to, but if she wanted to talk to him, I never told her no. I never. To this day, I mean, he was at her wedding. And I told my daughter, I looked her straight in the face and said, if you want him to also walk you down the aisle along with, like, Tom, we don't have a problem with it. Like, go for it. You know what I mean? She's like, no, that's not my dad. My real dad is my dad. Okay. So I don't understand that spectrum side of it either, because it makes no fucking sense to me. You don't deny your child that. You just don't.
Yeah, I know, but at that young of an age, I'm thinking that she's convincing him not to see me. And I text him every weekend. It's like, what are you doing? You want to hang out? And I hear nothing. For years, nothing.
Right. Well, and the only advice I can give you on that is, I think I've told you before, you don't give up. You let him know that you're there, and then the day that he wakes up, or the day it finally clicks with him, he'll be like, you know what? He did. He messaged me all the time. He sent me cards. Whatever the deal was, he knows you didn't give up. Even if it's just a text message, he knows you didn't give up.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know what I mean? And just hold on to the fact that at some point in his life, he's going to realize that. He's just not old enough to understand it. And the center of his world is his mom. So what do children believe? You know what I mean? They're going to believe the person that is their stability. At some point, I promise you, because I've seen it on every side. I've seen it on Stacy's side. I've seen it on Tom's side. I've seen it on Ashley's side. My side, the way I grew up with it, with my brothers. Like, there's so many different facets of what end of it I've witnessed, that at some point, every single time, that kid realizes, what the fuck? So that's why I said, even if it is breaking your heart, and even if you feel like this is so fucking pointless, it doesn't mean in 10 years you're not going to be looking at him and him going, thank you for not giving up. Sucks that you lost all that time, or you will have lost all that time. But when that moment hits you, you're going to remember, you know what? You're going to call me and go, listen, cat lady, you were kind of fucking right.
So do you know how many cats you're going to get?
I need a lot after last night. I need a lot after today.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to need even a lot more after that date.
What date?
The date
last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what date? I don't have a date. So what the fuck? Did I forget something? Well, it's funny because I was kind of pissy because there was this other guy I was talking to that lives in, I forget where he lives in. Somewhere between here and Akron. I can't fucking remember. Twinsburg. That's the guy I really wanted to talk to. And then he sent me this message yesterday. And I'm like, well, why the fuck do you message me now that I'm fucking driving up to meet this guy? And I just got rid of Mike. Then I'm like, well, maybe I'll message this guy. And then Mike calls me. Hey, I'm headed back home. I'm just letting you know I'm not sure if I'm coming tonight or not. He's like, but I'll be there tomorrow, first thing in the morning. He's like, I'm probably going to spend a couple days there. And I'm like, fuck. Which he has to because the pond, he's got to leave from here to work tomorrow. So he's going to leave his dog with me, which means he's got to come back here Monday. And then he works Monday night. But Tuesday morning, he's got to be here in the morning for me to take him to drop his car off at my friend Cheryl's shop. And then he's going to have to wait for his car Tuesday, so he'll be going home Tuesday night.
And then he'll be the unknown person on the video for Tom to look at.
Well, there'll be a lot of unknown people on the video tomorrow. He's going to have a fucking coronary tomorrow.
You should put a sign up to say free orgy or something in the backyard.
Oh, my God.
Or orgy party.
Oh, my God.
Just to mess with him. Yeah, I know that's probably not a nice thing to do, but
I want to put a sign up that says, "Do you want it? How much of this do you want to see?" While me and Mike are on the patio.
yeah, I'm sure he'll twist it and say, I'm worried about my tools being stolen.
Your tools got stolen, all right, buddy.
Yeah, I think Beth did the same thing to me. It's like when we bought this house, she had a video camera, but she only had one that was pointed inside of the house so she can watch what I'm doing. She claimed it was for security purposes.
Right, I remember you telling me.
Yeah, if it was security, I'd point it outside to get people's license plates and how they broke in and everything else. I don't need it on the inside. So when I was trying to change the outlets from 2-prong to 3-prong, I shut off all the power.
Right, I remember you saying she freaked out.
Yeah, she called me immediately. It's like, I don't know if you're there. Why don't you just turn on the power? And I'm like, if I'm not here, I can't turn on the power. But I am here because I don't want to get shocked changing these outlets. And she made it like, I don't want my things stolen. I don't think you're there. And I'm like, I just said I was here changing the outlets. You know, that became like I was lying because there's no proof that I'm here or not because the cameras aren't on. And I'm like, well, why don't you just FaceTime me? She's like, no, turn on the power. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting shocked. My computer equipment requires a 3-prong outlet, not a 2-prong. There's no 2 prongs in this house. We just bought this house, so there's a lot of upgrades that I need to do right away in order to do my job.
Right.
Because of your insecurities, there is no emergency for me to turn on anything. And she didn't get that. It was my fault. I'm a liar. And then she'll project it on her family and her kids, saying, well, me and Brian broke up because he lies all the time.
Right.
You know, and realizing these Toms and these Beths in the world that manipulate us, and we don't realize that they manipulate us, we start to learn their true colors. When we first meet these kind of people, when you meet somebody amazing, your brain takes over and start filling in the gaps and creates this fantasy. But understanding the one for you isn't the one that's hard to nail down and isn't somebody that's not offering you clarity. And typically speaking, we often obsess over people that don't make us feel safe. And we have to earn their love so that we feel like we have value. At the end of the day, stop fucking with people who offer you only confusion and not clarity. This concludes the episode of Dating and Relationship Advice. We'll see you next time.